floor for the final time to give remarks about the Willow Project. I won't explain it. I'll explain it in a little bit in my remarks. The President is getting ready to make a decision, a huge decision on a big project in Alaska, really an inflection point for our state's future. He's likely to make that decision any day, Mr. President. So I'm just going to come down and kind of wrap up the arguments that we've been making. I really want to thank a number of folks. Senator Murkowski, of course, who with me, we've been focused on this issue for 2 years, the entire time of the Biden administration, 2 years, arguments every day, including a meeting with the President last Thursday. Congresswoman Peltola, who's done a really strong job in this regard, particularly in the meeting last week with the President. Some of my Democratic colleagues have been weighing in on this project. I really appreciate that. I know it takes a lot of courage. I'm going to talk about some of the far left, lower 48 environmental groups who don't support it based on nothing, no facts, no data, but to stand up to them, go to the White House and say, come on, Mr. President, come on, Biden administration, you got to give this, you got to make sure Alaska has this. So my Democrat colleagues, I know I'm not going to name you, I don't want to get you in trouble or anything, but thank you. Really, really appreciate this. As I mentioned, Mr. President, we had a meeting with the President last week, and I did, at the beginning of the meeting, in addition to handing the President a unanimous...
Wow, friends, this is big news. You may be able to receive a $7,500 tax credit from the Internal Revenue Service. President Biden's Inflation Reduction Act has several provisions that are providing millions of Americans an opportunity to receive some extra financial aid this year. My friends, please make sure that you watch until the end of this video for all the latest news. I will also be giving away 2 Walmart gift cards this coming Friday. If you would like to enter the weekly giveaway, friends, simply click and like several of my videos and then comment below the keyword of each video that you watch. The more videos that you comment on, my friends, the greater your chances of winning the giveaways. As part of the Inflation Reduction Act of 2022, the tax credit available on electric vehicle purchases has been improved for vehicle purchases in 2023 and beyond. Qualified electric vehicle buyers can receive a credit of as much as $7,500, making the Clean Vehicle Tax Credit one of the most lucrative credits available to individual taxpayers in the United States. However, the credit isn't just valuable, it's also restrictive and complicated to qualify for. There are 2 different sets of qualifications to consider if you're aiming for the $7,500 credit on a new electric vehicle, whether you qualify for the credit, and whether the vehicle does. The Clean Vehicle Tax Credit is available to individuals whose household income does not exceed the following thresholds, which is $300,000 for married couples who file jointly, $225,000 for heads of households, and $150,000 for singles, married filing separately, and other filers. For vehicles purchased new in 2023, the maximum amount of the Clean Vehicle Tax Credit is $7,500, and most taxpayers who meet the requirements discussed in the prior section will receive the entire credit. Simply, the short version is that the credit depends on the vehicle's battery capacity and will eventually depend on where the battery components were made, once the IRS issues clearer guidance later this year. It is also important to note that for the first time ever, used electric vehicles can qualify for a credit. Eligible buyers can receive a credit equal to 30% of the sales price. That is up to a maximum of $4,000. Starting in 2024, the Clean Vehicle Tax Credit will be available immediately as a point-of-sale rebate through a car dealer or a manufacturer, meaning you will not have to wait until you file taxes to receive it. The seller can simply deduct the $7,500 from the sale price of the vehicle. The largest takeaway is that the Clean Vehicle Tax Credit can be lucrative, but remember, it's also very restrictive. For example, most used vehicles being sold in 2023 will not qualify because they sell for more than $25,000. So before you rush out and buy your next vehicle with a big tax credit in mind, make sure that you're familiar with the requirements. California regulators shut down Silicon Valley Bank on Friday after depositors rushed to withdraw money last week due to concerns about its balance sheets, and the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation was appointed receiver. Silicon Valley Bank, which was 40 years old and ranked as the 16th largest bank in the United States, catered largely to the tech industry and was used by many startups and venture capital firms. It is the largest financial institution to collapse since Washington Mutual Bank at the height of the financial crisis in 2008. In addition to federal government shoring up deposits at Silicon Valley Bank and Signature Bank, the Fed announced it is standing up to new emergency lending programs called the Bank Term Funding Program. This is to help assure banks have the ability to meet the needs of all their depositors. President Biden has also sought to reassure Americans that they can have confidence in the United States banking system. Biden said in brief remarks from the White House, "Americans can have confidence that the banking system is safe. Your deposits will be there when you need them." The president's comments came after United States bank regulators spent the weekend working on a plan to shore up the public's confidence in the soundness of the financial system and limit spillover effects. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen and Federal Reserve Board Chair Jerome Powell said that the emergency action fully protects all depositors. President Biden reiterated during his remarks that no losses would be borne by the taxpayers and said the money will instead come from fees that banks pay into the Deposit Insurance Fund. The U.S. president also called for a full accounting of what led to the collapse of Silicon Valley Bank and a second institution, Signature Bank of New York, which was taken over by state regulators on Sunday, and how to hold those responsible accountable. The president said he intends to ask Congress and banking regulators to strengthen the rules for banks to stave off future failures. So, dear friends, did any of you bank at Silicon Valley Bank or Signature Bank of New York? Please let me know in the comments section below. Well, my most amazing and dearest friends, that is the end of my daily stimulus update video for this Tuesday. Thank you, my friends, for being part of this community and for being here every single day. My friends, I will be announcing 2 winners this coming Friday for the Walmart gift card giveaway. If you would like to enter the weekly giveaways, simply click and like several of my videos and then comment below the keyword of each video that you watch. My dear friends, the more videos that you comment on, the greater your chances of moving the giveaways. Thank you and have a wonderful and very blessed week.